Alright, hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. This is going to be, I guess, a little bit of Lego, but it's also going to be just customizing this shelf. So last time, if you didn't see it, I basically started a series with this little guy right here, which is Xaden Riderson from the Empyrean Saga, and I want to start building custom minifigures based off of my favorite books and series, etc. And I got a lot of books recently that I'm going to start adding to this. Last time I just kind of threw the books in the background, didn't entirely talk about them. So today we're just going to be adding some new books, and especially I'm really excited about one of the box sets that I have. So really excited about that. I'm also going to be adding a couple little pieces of decor. Again, I just kind of threw everything in there last time because it was more about the minifigure and starting the project than anything else. I'm still trying to change around a lot of the lighting in this room, so, you know, bear with me for a little bit. But yeah, so basically last time we started with the actual shelf, and obviously it's not going to be every book that I own. I definitely cannot fit all of them in one little shelf, but this is going to be about, you know, building and adding Lego minifigures to this overall, since that is what we predominantly are. These are just kind of taking up the space for now. I absolutely love the custom work from Nerdy Inc., but of course it isn't going to be all about one book series. So a couple of the books that I'm going to be adding today, one of them is from Lee Child, which is Killing Floor, a very beat up copy from Jack Reacher, or the Jack Reacher series, I should say. And then, as I take out my light source with my box set, of course, no collection's complete without a hardcover version of The Hunger Games. The new one's coming out right now, too, so for Barnes & Nobles, I also picked up this awesome little pin that we're just going to be sitting to the side for now. For Fourth Wing, we have a couple of these really cool pins. We have Terran and Sigale. There's also an Indarna. However, it was sold out apparently instantly. We got this mug, which was a gift from my fiance. I Will Not Die Today, again from the same series. Couple of extra minifigures. So this is Gandalf the Grey, of course, and the Mouth of Sauron. They've just been on my desk for a while, and I don't have a pure Lord of the Rings like minifigure display yet, so yeah, they're just gonna sit over here for now. But we have the Lord of the Rings box set in the back corner, one of my childhood favorites, Ranger's Apprentice, and I did book 1 for that in the Hunger Games, not necessarily because they're my favorite in the series. Move that before I break something. Just because they work out really well there. We also have a couple of keychains, which I've shown off on this channel a couple times, both of which are from the Empyrean Saga as well. And a couple bookmarks, which are pretty cool. Rider's Quadrant, again from the same series, and one from War of the Worlds, which is a pretty cool looking one. Most of this stuff did come from Barnes & Nobles. A couple of the books that were hardcovers, you know, I ordered off of Amazon. I like supporting Barnes & Nobles, but it's really tough when, like, The Hunger Games is $25 there, and or $25 in a hardcover, and I got it for $8 on Amazon, so there's a big difference. Now, the most exciting portion of it is A Song of Ice and Fire. It is beautiful. The Game of Thrones series. Now, this is the paperback version. There is a hardcover version, however, it gets pretty pricey, as you can imagine, so there's going to be a little bit of glare off of there, but it happens. They are beautiful. I love the artwork. They don't necessarily, like, they're the same art theme. They're not, like, you know, an ongoing little pattern, but I think it looks fantastic. I love it. I think it's going to look really nice. Try and move that so you guys can actually see it a little bit. But I really like it. Now, I think it was about $50 for the box set, which isn't terrible. The hardcover is about $125 or so, if I'm remembering properly. So definitely, if you're looking for a box set for A Song of Ice and Fire or just a Game of Thrones fan, fantastic. Easily my favorite box set that I currently own. My Lord of the Rings one is a little bit more basic. Percy Jackson one's pretty cool. My Maze Runner one has been destroyed over the years. But, you know, I'm a big fan of the box sets. Now, I want to do that with more series, but not with the amount of space that I can dedicate towards my little novel section right now, just because I'm trying to implement as many series as I can. So for now, that's probably going to be my only book series, given to the fact that I'm a huge fan of Game of Thrones, and it is my favorite book series of all time. So now let's get organizing a little bit and see what we can put out, guys. Alright, well, I'm definitely very happy with how it turned out. Now, the Hunger Games pin, I do want to hang up on one of the sides or even in the background with a little plastic command strip, but I just don't have any at the moment, so it's kind of just going to sit there hanging on at the end of its life. It is literally just propped up against like the top of the bookshelf, so it's doing its best in there. But overall, we actually do have plenty of room for more books. I did all the short books kind of along the center, with Game of Thrones and Lord of the Rings. Since they're all the same height, I can obviously put pretty many things up there. I think eventually Game of Thrones might get turned, so it's an actual stack unit. But for now, the fact that it literally fits perfectly definitely makes sense. Now, if you're wondering why there's two different Onyx Storms to the left, and, you know, again, a little bit of a glare there, just behind that mug, there is a Target edition and then there is a standard edition. So I have one of each. Because of course, you know, it's got what you got to do as a collector. But that is why there's two of them there. But, you know, overall, like color theme wise, obviously, like the Lee Child or Jack Reacher would look good next to Stephen King's It. But hey, it happens. But yeah, so basically a good amount of some of my favorite books, or at least like a series representation. Again, a couple of mine are like with me at the moment. I know I have a couple that are like in my little storage space in my closet that I just don't have the energy to dig out just yet. But I'm slowly trying to remodel the room, and I know, and I cannot find it, and it's driving me nuts. My favorite book of all time is The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and I cannot find my hardcover version or my paperback version. So no idea where on earth those are. I sincerely hope we didn't leave them when we moved a couple years ago, but it's a possibility, I guess. I also have a paperback version of a couple of these guys, but I kind of like having a representation of each series. I'm in the middle of reading Inheritance right now, which is Aragon, which is fantastic, and the box set for those is gorgeous, so I cannot wait to finish this series. And I do audiobooks, so just because, you know, between YouTube and my main job, I work about 100 hours a week, and it involves a lot of driving, especially my drive to work is about 40 minutes every day. In traffic, it's even longer. I do a lot of trips for like birding and fishing and stuff like that. So I'm in the car a lot, which means audiobooks are fantastic, especially when I'm like cleaning at work and stuff at night. It's nice to put on some headphones and just listen to a good book. So I just finished like the Crescent City series, and I just finished, obviously, Onyx Storm. Now we're on to the Aragon series. I'm halfway through Eldest, which is book 2. So I'm looking forward to adding that a little bit later, once this is actually complete. Again, you know, right now the Empyrean Saga takes up a lot of the space. However, as I grow the collection a little bit more, my thing is, like, I like, so if you use Audible, you can get free credits if you shop through Amazon. I shop through Amazon a lot. I've actually, you know, since I'm very, very busy with all this, like energy drinks, cat food, and stuff like that, I actually have like the little subscription service that saves you like 10%. So just little stuff like that. I do actually use Amazon quite a bit. Not necessarily for just books and Legos and stuff like that, but a little bit of just stuff overall. It really does help save some time. So overall, you can get credits through Amazon, and then you can use them. I haven't paid for a book ever on Audible, just because of credits, which is really nice. Sometimes there's buy two, get one free for books, and sometimes there's buy one, get one free. Like, you have a lot of good deals, so definitely, if you don't have a lot of time to read, look into audiobooks. It is a great way to do it, and is honestly the way that I can read right now, just because when I finish a book on audiobook, I go out and buy the hardcover or the paperback, so double support the author at that route. But I'm really happy that I'm starting to actually like get back into books and trying to find some time to actually read. There's plenty of series, again, like Percy Jackson and stuff like that, that I don't have represented here. I'm trying to reread the Lord of the Rings series later in the year, but we'll see. Crescent City, I'm on the 3rd book. I'm waiting for the other half of the audiobook dramatization version to get caught up with, so that's coming out in a few days here as of recording this, so I'm excited for that. But yeah, Aragon's great so far. It's definitely going to have representation in this area. In terms of Game of Thrones, again, my favorite series of all time, I definitely will be doing custom minifigures for Game of Thrones. There are like Mega Constructs or Mega Blocks versions, but, you know, they don't really fit, and I don't entirely like how they look. Maybe as like a temporary piece, I can add some stuff like that, but we'll definitely see. But that's going to do it for this update, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Like, comment, subscribe, share the video if you found it fun, entertaining, or helpful, and follow me on Instagram if you guys want to check out the whole entire Lego room and book collection. I'm also a huge field guide collector for the birding side of things, so I have a stack of like 50 something field guides. I don't want to dedicate a whole spot to for this, but it's gonna have to happen eventually. If we move here in the next couple months, I'm looking forward to having like just a dedicated field guide area of the room. I think that's gonna be pretty cool. And I'll see you next time. Happy reading and happy building, everybody.